Well, hello class. This is a very important chapter as we are now into the design phase of a really good training program. And of course, now that we know what we want and now that we have identified our gaps, okay, the important thing for us to do is to be able to bring those gaps in where expected performance, okay, is going to meet actual performance. So we are certainly in line with our strategy. So the first thing that we would want to do is look at, number one, where we've identified our gaps, and number two, how do we design a good training program to fill those gaps? Well, in the plan of what we call design phase, again we have input, process, and output. So in our input of developing our training program into a design, we would kind of look at the learning theory. What are some of the points we are trying to get across? The training needs. What are some of the organizational constraints? And we're going to look at the process itself of the training program. So all of these things, the learning theory, the training needs, and the constraints are going to fit into the training objectives. That is going to lead to output. What are some of the factors we're going to need to facilitate learning and transfer that learning into something cohesive? If our training delivery method isn't working, what are some of the alternative methods of instruction that we could use in order to make it happen? And then, of course, just like anything else, we're going to evaluate. You know, we measure the difference between EP and AP. We want to evaluate whether or not the first design we put out there is going to work once we implement it. So we're going to go through all the different, in this chapter, all the different phases in the design. We're going to look at some organizational constraints. How do we deal with those constraints? And specifically, what types of constraints are going to influence our design? How much does a training program cost? It can be very expensive, but not productive, and vice versa. It can be very productive, but not that expensive if we know how to design it. And we're going to look at the different types of training objectives. There are 4 types. So we're going to also learn how to write a learning objective. That's going to be fun. So, I keep saying so, but anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to go through the PowerPoints on Monday, and then we're going to look at a few of the case studies which are going to refer to previous chapters. And we are going to be able to now, once you click the link after you view this video cam, I'm going to show you some YouTube videos in designing a good training program, so you get some different perspectives. Also, this week I will be posting hypothetical number 2. Have a wonderful week.